Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. Today guys, of course, you're checking out X-Men 97. This is Season 1, Episode 9, Part 2 of the 3-part finale, wrapping up Season 1 of X-Men 97. And my god, I cannot wait to dive into this episode. Part 1 of this 3-part finale was insane, and just in general, this entire season, the return of the show has been over the top. It's been insane. And I've been saying this for quite a bit, but I feel like a broken record, but I'm going to repeat it again. We were not prepared for how good this show was going to be. We were not prepared. We were expecting a good return to this show, hopefully a good return to this show, with these characters, some interesting storylines. We were not prepared for how far they were going to go in terms of Bastion, in terms of just the character development, and the deaths, and all these big reveals and changes that have fundamentally changed how we look at the 90s X-Men show because of what 97 is doing. So I'm ready to dive into part 2 here, because we've been hearing from Bo, who is the creator, who was behind the show, who got fired, of course, before the actual show came out and everything. He has been tweeting out, and also other people as well, a part of the show, has been tweeting out saying, you know, you guys aren't prepared for what's coming and everything. So here we are with part 2. And the thing is, too, we still have another episode, which is the Season 1 finale, in a sense, part 3, the finale in terms of wrapping up Season 1 next week. But what are they going to do here? Because part 1, like last week, felt like it was like more than just a part 1, but it literally was just only part 1 of this 3-episode arc wrapping up Season 1. So let's dive into it now, guys. Let's check it out. They ended on a crazy note last week with Magneto destroying all the Sentinels and everything, and they think he did far more than that than what he actually showed off. Spider-Man showed up for a brief little cameo. A lot of crazy stuff went down last week. So let's jump into now, guys. Let's see what they show us in this week's episode. Let's go. Oh, they changed that. Part 2. Oh yeah. Stay back. Man. Okay.
Magneto, sir? Really? What did you expect was going to happen? I wanted to spare you the weight of your loyalty to me. You, both of you, have done everything I have asked. No matter what, I'll always end up here.
Exactly.
Did you know that? That was my fear. From the moment I first met you.
Damn.
Trask, did he?
Much has happened,
A lot has happened.
Trask survived, when so did
Remy?
Oh, shucks.
Oh shit.
What's the hold down?
Gotta fix that. Hey.
Bro, you're back.
All first world infrastructures are in ruin. Without warning, Magneto's thrown the entire planet back centuries.
I can feel the Earth's magnetic field dying even now.
I need to find Magneto and convince him to reverse the damage to Earth before it becomes permanent.
So, he did way more than we thought he did.
We say please.
I brought us here, my X-Men. Do not make Magnus pay for my designs.
These guys hated us before Bastion drafted him into his killer robot army. We don't even know how many are out there.
Bastion is the command server. When I first
I mean, that makes sense.
I visited Sebastian's mother. The boy could communicate with machines. Once Bastion is no longer a threat, I believe Magnus will be open to turning the power back on.
Well,
possibly.
Didn't you also believe it was a good idea to hand the bad guy your school?
Charles described Bastion as a technopath, which is essentially telepathy for machines.
Yes.
And this mnemonic scrambler shut down Jean's powers when she was the Dark Phoenix.
Part of me wonders if Gambit should have been buried here, on our grounds. He was always trying to outrun his past with the Thieves Guild. And despite the power of words, nothing spoken can heal this pain.
Oh, what's that? Oh, shit. Yeah, it's him.
Your home. When you abandoned us for your Shia Bird Queen, you bequeathed it to me. Ask me to walk your path. Will humanity undo Genosha? Oh, friend,
I mean,
have seen it.
it was
It
terrible.
was just as you said that day in the bar. How many more of your bones will pave the way to Xavier's future?
Bones,
Where we
damn,
simper
dude.
like beggars for tolerance. We have gotten here by walking this man's path. We are left with but two choices. Gods abandon those who believe in them. Mutants do not.
Dude, that
Decide,
line.
my X-Men.
Genosha, I made a choice.
She's
To
choosing
lead
his side.
mankind to a new
Shit.
age. None of you were there the day Genosha fell. Who dies next, Professor?
Shit.
Me? Been there, done that. Who knows where Bishop is? I will not see any more mutants die.
Shit.
Roberto.
Oh,
My mom
what?
handed me over to the Prime Sentinels, Jubilee.
Oh, wow.
Hitching a ride to
Oh,
Asteroid?
shit.
Just when we started working well together.
Jean, Madeline. But what I know for certain is that they're two of the strongest people I've ever known.
Am I going to war or a circus?
Here's the...
What'd you expect? Black leather?
I love the flip of that.
protocols were
The
drawn
chair.
up for exactly this sort of crisis.
Much like in the past, my X-Men and I
Ooh.
are your best hope to
Oh,
avoid this future. We have been here before, President Kelly. If you don't trust me, trust my
Dude.
X-Men.
Ah, I love it. Yes. Dude. And it's such a cool way how they brought the old suits back because the mansion was destroyed, so it makes sense. Dude. Holy shit.
Shouldn't Magneto's blackout have shut these things down?
You would have thought.
Bastion must be powering their circuitry using his technopathy.
I thought of you while away, of when my sister faced her darkness and emerged stronger, a survivor, a phoenix.
Make them mind your weather, sister.
And them weather your mind.
Oh, I like that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The music again. Oh my god.
Bastion's building his own ideal future.
Looks like it.
Unfortunately, he'll have no one to share it with.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Dude, that is such a cool way to bring Hulk in. Oh my god.
I waited for this moment.
Yes.
I know your
Dude.
pains, Jean. Your strengths.
Shit, come on, come on, come on. Watch your back, watch your back. Damn.
I can tell you when I switched you.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but it's okay. Ooh. Dude, I fucking love it. Oh. The pins.
Oh, good. We're skipping the blabber.
Skip it. Dude, this is so cool.
Time out, sugar.
Thousands are dead, and more will follow unless we...
Thousands more died on Genosha. Whose lives matter more?
I mean, he's making good points.
I said sorry.
So, you're fighting her. Okay, here we go.
How I've waited to say these two words to you, old friend. Shut up.
We must retreat.
It was more... Oh, that was... Oh, damn. Damn. That shot. Look at this fucking... God, the animation is so good.
I'm shocked that such a coward hasn't abandoned Bastion yet.
I was waiting for you to bring me what I want.
What?
Nathan, stop! Please! Listen to me! Scott, I love you.
No, no. What? What? What?
You've left me no choice, Magnus.
Dude, dude, dude. you serious?
Been in a lot of
Oh my
wars,
God.
The brave always die first.
What? What? Holy shit! Oh my God! Fucking shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. I am not exaggerating when I say this is one of the most insane endings to an episode of the show. This is just, oh my God, dude. There are so many things that kind of went down in the last, like, minute or two. Holy shit. Okay. I'm going to talk about the final few things that really happened in the last, like, minute or two. And then we'll talk about the majority of the episode as well. But let's, oh my God, okay. Okay. So, we have the iconic shot of the adamantium being pulled out of Wolverine is what we're seeing here. I think that's what he's doing to Wolverine. He's pulling the adamantium out of his body. I think that's what Magneto's doing. Holy shit. I think that's what it looks like to me. And then it's Jesus. So the thing is, he gets stabbed. Right? I really thought before the turn that Magneto was dying. That Bastion's still out there because Bastion, that's still not done, right? But then the tables turn. Yes, Wolverine stabs Magneto, but he isn't dead. I think, God damn. And then something else happened in the episode as well. Something that is very, very interesting, and I think is planting a seed. It's been kind of hinted at, I think, or kind of, you know, not implied, but more like hinted at a little bit. But now they have full-blown shown the origin, essentially, of what could end up happening, continuing on with the show. There is a little-known villain in the comics that was created in the 90s called Onslaught. And it's the birth, essentially, of Charles and Magneto, in terms of Charles taking over Magneto's mind, and then the dark kind of elements of Magneto's mind gets within Charles, and then essentially a separate entity is born called Onslaught. That is just beyond anything we've ever seen before in terms of, like, villain and everything, and kind of the status of the villain. And I feel like Onslaught is very underrated. There is, of course, a giant omnibus about the Onslaught. There's a lot of stuff leading up to the Onslaught stuff. There's a gigantic omnibus, like 14, 15, 1600 pages. A lot of fucking story. Big bulk. I own it. And we see this in the episode. He takes over Magneto's mind. But, of course, he stopped. But I really think they're setting up and implying Onslaught is coming. I think they're going to lead to Onslaught. I think Onslaught is coming at some point. And it makes sense. This is the 90s show. It makes sense that they would at some point bring in Onslaught. We'll see if they do. But I think they are. I think that they're going to be doing that. So we get to see these classic looking X-Men outfits. And they have a story purpose for them to be back into these classic looking outfits, because the mansion is destroyed. They don't have access to their regular attire. The 90s, you know, armor, suits, whatever you want to call it. They don't have it anymore. So they have to revert back. And so more nostalgia thrown into this episode with those kind of classic looks of Cyclops, more classical looking Jean Grey, Wolverine's suit, like all of that. Cool. And even Cable, like, even though it was kind of more of like, you know, a different version of Cable, because we're from the future and everything. That twist, though, that he's fighting his mom, but not really because it's Jean, was a big thing. And the thing is that, because Scott was able to see it for a second, like, there's a lot going on there. And, of course, in Storm is there as well, taking out Sentinels and shit, and then her and Forge go down and everything. Morph turning into fucking Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, was such a good little moment, because I think this confirms essentially because it looked pretty similar to the Hulk from the 90s animated show, because there was a lot of debate, because there's a lot of people discussing online about how the Spider-Man 90s series and the X-Men 90s series are canon to each other, but the other shows like Iron Man, the Iron Man 90s show, and then the Fantastic Four 90s show, the Hulk 90s show, and I think something else, and I'm not sure exactly what all is separate, like they're on their own separate Earths or whatever. I think this is confirming, or at least what they're kind of implying, that Hulk is the same Hulk. That, like, it's the same thing, because Morph turned into pretty much looking exactly like the Hulk. Maybe it's not, but we'll see if they're going to... I mean, they might canonize it officially. I don't know, because I don't think... Did Hulk ever cross over officially? Like, I think he might have. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. Sorry. I'm sick. Eventually, I knew my cough was going to come at some point with me talking so much. So they have a good story point of why that was happening. Now, I will say this. Magneto's making some good points. I think him and his Professor X back and forth is pretty good in terms of their dialogue, Charles and Magnus. Over his mouth, shut up. I've been wanting to say those 2 words for so long. Charles, shut up. That was a good little moment. Rogue joining Magneto is not surprising. It makes sense because of how she's turned. She pushed off Trask off the building, not knowing, of course, he was a Sentinel, or like a Sentinel human hybrid. She was wanting to kill Trask. She was wanting him dead. So it's not too surprising she switched sides. Man, intense shit. The action sequences and the visuals of this episode were top notch, and they've been top notch throughout the whole show. So that's not really too surprising. But my God, they were so good here. Holy shit. Seeing Mr. Sinister fighting Jean was good, and him once again teasing, I could tell you if you asked nicely when I switched you and Madeline. I can tell you when you end and Madeline begins in terms of the timeline. I don't think we're ever going to learn officially what went down in terms of when the switch occurred. Maybe they're just dropping little teases because eventually we'll find out. And it'll be a big reveal, a big moment. It's like, oh, that makes sense. That's when it would happen. Because there's a couple of different theories about when the switch occurred. So I think Mr. Sinister just doing that. I think he's just toying with her. But maybe they're actually going to be saving that reveal. Maybe. I don't know where we go in part 3. Because literally we have another episode. And then the season 1's done. And when season 2's coming soon. Like season 2 is supposedly going to be showing up pretty soon. Sooner rather than later. So, I don't know. I think we're going to end, or at least in terms of next week's episode, we're going to see the adamantium, I'm assuming pulled out of Wolverine, no longer have adamantium anymore. That's my guess. And I'm assuming Bastion is probably going to be defeated somehow. Maybe not. Who knows? Cough's getting worse. So overall, this was a brutal, intense episode of X-Men 97, as I was expecting, because pretty much every episode, not exactly every episode, because the Jubilee episode, which had other stuff going on in that episode as well, but the Jubilee kind of centric video game episode was a great retro throwback to the arcade X-Men game and everything like that. And of course, you had all that, and then you had like another version of Jubilee, who was the original voice actor for Jubilee, who was playing this older Jubilee within this game or whatever, as a file or something, sort of whatever, like a test run or whatever. It was a cool thing. It was like that episode wasn't really intense. There were some, pretty crazy moments, but a lot of these episodes have been so over the top. Sorry for the cough. So I'm expecting part 3 to do the same thing, because part 1 and part 2 were both insane in their own ways. And the fact is too revealing that Magneto had turned the world into a situation where in 12 hours the world's going to end because of what he did to destroy or kind of freeze all of these Sentinel human hybrids, and he threw the whole world into whack. So it's far worse than we thought it was. There was a lot of theories about what exactly he did besides stopping the Sentinel human hybrids. He did far more than that. Sorry guys, I'm really sorry. I need to wrap this up. But there's a lot of theories about what Magneto did. We were not prepared to know. He actually made it to where the world's going to end in 12 hours or so because of how he threw off the whole entire world's, like, just everything, the way he just, whatever he did. Like, it's so brutal, the world is going to end as we know it. So, far worse than we predicted. But anyways, had a great time with this episode. Can't wait for next week's episode. Hope you guys enjoy the reaction. I can't wait to see what happens. It's, man, this show is a crazy ride. It's a fun ride. It's a brutal ride. But man, is it worth it. I'm so happy this show is back. And please, bring back the 90s animated Spider-Man show. Bring that shit back too. Bring this... Not, you don't have to bring everything back, but you get my point. Spider-Man makes sense because of the fact is that the show ended early and that there was another plan for Mary Jane and everything. There's a lot of stuff they had not wrapped up. So we need at least another season. But I'm assuming they would probably do more than one if they were to bring the show back. We get my point. But anyways, guys, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoy the reaction. I can't wait for next week's episode. The finale, the ending of the 3-part arc here. The wrapping up of season 1. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.